Halloween means ghosts. Ghosts mean ghost walks. Or a heart attack. But I have decided that I'm gonna draw every ghost in my city. Looking at the paranormal database, we have all the ghosts, starting with my favorite at the railway station, a big rat. And then we have all these other ones. I would normally go on the ghost walk, but they don't open up until next week. And I'm gonna be my own tour guide, and it's gonna be beautiful. There's gonna be super cinematic shots. Walk by shot, don't we feel so cool? Yeah. And a bus, and a bus. Yeah. Don't you shut up. Another bus. There's going to be colourful storytelling. Woo. Dad, it's fine. What I'm gonna do is I'm going to scribble down in my sketch pad a bunch of ideas. Better while doing it, I'm gonna be watching ghost hunting videos to get spooky. There's a few I have ideas for, so I'm just gonna try and randomly sketch the first sort of ghost, get several ideas, and then I'll let you know my favorite in a bit. Okay, so I've gone through there was a couple outfit choices. I was looking at sort of 1300s because it says plague, but I don't know what plague. I was very wrong with the information because all I could remember was this ghost story. Haunted house. When the plague hit, they boarded up the family and then not realizing the daughter did not have the plague and was not dead, and she choked to death eating her parents apparently. Oh, that's nice. Okay, so this is the design I am going with and that I am happy with. Those colors are in. I'm kind of happy with it. We just need to define and render everything now. Editor Vin sketch here. I am dumb, and originally I thought this happened in the 1300s. Well, I fact checked. I am fact checking. I have 2 books. I got it wrong. I thought they had died in the 1300s, where the plague was in some areas in that time. It built in 1530, so obviously couldn't have happened in the 1300s. However, in the outbreak of the Black Death in 1576, let me check in this book, found by the plague in 1578. Got the dates wrong, so I'm very sorry about that. Oh, and the books I'm using is that one and that one. Ghost Girl done. Now, I got to admit, I was a bit worried about doing this one because it's a very, very dark story. But if we're doing Halloween, we have to go all in. And I feel we went all in. Spooky. To the next. Now, the next ghost story is the most infamous one in my city. But there is something a bit strange about it. And it follows a pattern with a lot of the ghosts I've found. And I will let you know that a bit later. Next, I'm going to do the Grey Maid, which is the really famous one. And for sort of clothing styles, I have the 16th, 17th or 18th style dress. I mean, so much to choose from. It doesn't seem to be too much difference between 16th and 17th century made clothing. Okay, so we've kind of done the skin and the general aspect of the grey lady, but I'm definitely gonna have to sort out her dress because I'm not happy with the silhouette, so I'm gonna poof it out a bit more here. Space which there's a ghost of a maid in there which smells like lavender. Okay. Yeah. I think it looks good, so we are on to the next one. The ghost story of the castle. The next story we're going to tackle is not 1, not 2, but 3 different ghost stories from around the city. So, ghost story. Ghost story? Yeah, so this used to be the hanging grounds. Yeah. The last lady to be hung in England got hung here for murdering her husband. Oh, for real? Yeah, got chopped up. She chopped up her husband and threw him in a pond, apparently. Big up Norwich. Yeah, and so there is a ghost which wears black, walks around, they think it's her, and she also goes into the museum now and again. Oh, good for her. Yeah, so if you go to the gallery, you might get haunted. That's nice. Yeah. I mean, at least she's educated and yeah. We'll keep busy. Okay, we have the 3 ladies. We have the lady in red. We have the lady in grey too. And we have the lady in black. And I'm hoping it kind of represents them a little bit. 'Cause the lady in red, she just continues on with her day. She's more of a recording, doesn't interact with anyone. Lady in grey, she's seen walking around trying to work out where she is even though she's blind. But apparently very nice. Lady in Black is very much like a more scary haunting because that was on the hanging ground and she did very nasty things, I believe, to her family, which is on record, I believe. But yeah, so there are the ladies. Editing Vin sketch here with more facts and actual dates and actual information on this. We have several reportings of the Lady in Black. The earliest sighting of the lady was in 1820, where prison records and prisoners were scared to death by a ghostly woman in black. And they're also reported in the art gallery. That's from an article by Dangley McKinley. And then in the paranormal database, it may be related to the story of Martha Allen, who was executed in 1807. The next lady is another lady in grey, this time with a blindfold, in practically the same area as the previous ghost maid. It haunts outside though, in between there and the castle, which is a couple of roads away. This was seen in the late 20th century and is seen today, and you can't see the bottom of the legs. At the same time, there is also in the same location, there is a lady in red that is also haunting with black hair, which was seen in 2019. Also, legs floating. Interestingly, there is a thing I found in the books. It states, in the same area, there is a record of a potential ghost called the Burning Woman, which was in 1200, there was a skirmish between the cathedral and a group of people where a woman set fire to a building inside the cathedral. Well, 34 people were punished. There was one woman who was charged with setting fire to the gates when the cathedral was sacked, was brought before the bishop, and apparently they were burnt alive on the grounds of the cathedral. Now, there is no direct evidence linking her to being the woman in red, but it's the same location haunted. Just curious, maybe there's a connection. But very interestingly, I don't know if you've started to see a pattern. Okay, you are too high up. I am so sorry about that. Okay, few things I found about the ghosts. They are a lot different than what you think ghosts are. Let me explain. A lot of them seem to be just nice people. So the ghosts, right, a lot of them just seem to be nice people. A lot of them just, apparently we have very alcoholic ghosts, which is a thing, I guess. I mean, it's not really alcoholic, they are just in a lot of pubs, because I guess the pubs are old. So with the previous three ladies, obviously, two of them are very nice. The interactions are very plain and not actual like hauntings or malicious, spooky things to people. And it's the same with the next three. There is one that just likes drinking at a pub. Apparently gets told off for smoking a lot of the time. There's another one that just likes ringing the bells, which has a way more of a history behind it, like tons of history. And then the last guy of this three, he reads fairy tales to kids in his inn. I mean, oh my god, nice ghosts. That's movies have not told me this. Okay, one of the issues with my guys, I've definitely colored them into like way too quickly, so they are really choppy compared to the normal look of what I done beforehand, so I'm gonna have to spend like a massive time rendering to make these guys even look good. Okay, so I have finished this chap. I think it's mainly because like the style is a lot more different, or it was a bit lazy. Like, look at these chaps. Instead of being completely round, they're more ovally. It's gonna take more time to do these people, which is fine. I think he looks good. Bit iffy on some of the stuff, but I will say I really like the brushwork that's almost been developing here, so I shall try my best with the other two gentlemen. He's so happy ringing his bell. He's so happy. Also, I got these wrong. Technically, I've drawn these more like Tudors that I've seen in paintings, thinking it were like that. I saw them in a museum, and they actually go like below the knee. So they're kind of just like super duper baggy pants, trousers, things, breeches, clothing items. So they are technically wrong. I don't know if I have time to adjust the design. But anyway. So the first ghost, Mr. Harris, at a pub. I can't find the pub name at the moment. He used to deliver beer to the pub, and he is spotted smoking and drinking. And to this day, he is told off for smoking inside, even though he's a ghost. And people don't realize that. So, the guy with the bells. This gets complicated. The pub that he haunts was built in 1240. 1549. Then there was a rebellion in a village close in... Well, they left in 1549. This was the Ket Rebellion, which is basically they were rebelling against the new law of fencing off your property. Normal people couldn't graze their animals or make a living off land they've done forever if private landowners have taken it and fenced it off. They marched into Norwich, led by Ket, and they overtook Norwich. Now in this book it says Lord Sheffield was fighting in the king's army. And basically there was a clash in between the two groups. Now it's very interesting because in some things it says Lord Sheffield was an accidental passers-by who got caught in the skirmish. Others say, you know, he was leading armies. But yeah, there's the plaque for where he died. Whatever happened, he was caught between two opposing sides. He was apparently getting off to surrender. And according to what sources, he was either stabbed in the gut or hit in the head with a butcher's knife. And he was taken to the Adam and Eve's pub where he shortly died afterwards. Now that is a very dramatic story, which you would think is very unpleasant. But the thing is, he enjoys just talking with people. He rings the pub bell sometimes. He smokes with people. He chats with people. And is a very nice person, apparently. Good company, apparently. Okay, then we have the Lambs Inn, which is John, a guy who was murdered. I can't read, remember, so that's his name, if you can work out how to say it. In basically the 1700s, there was a row between landowner of a pub, which is that pub, which is still a pub today. The brother-in-law stabbed him. There is different accounts that he got stabbed in the back or got stabbed in the gut. The brother-in-law was hung afterwards. There is a record of the hanging, and I believe there are like witness records as well to the event or to the murder. But the thing is, you think, oh, murder, this would be a vengeful ghost. No, this guy was a father of one and apparently a very good father, and he reads fairy tales to kids that stay in the inn. That is wholesome. The bishop, the ghostly bishop, is...
Maybe he likes the clock.
Yeah.
It's a good clock.
Next, I want to do another 3. So I was thinking the evil preacher, the bishop, and the monk. And it's the same sort of like thing as the ladies, because there's one monk which is an angel, one which is just like there's a guy which is a bishop, and then the other one is an evil preacher that condemns people to hell by screaming at them, even though like they've never been condemned to hell. Apparently he just shouts that at people. We shall do those 3 now. One of the issues about the evil priest, I guess, there's no information about him, what he looks like, what period he's from, if he was a monk or not a monk. I don't think there was a monastery there, so I don't think it was a monk, so it must have been a priest, but what era, I have no clue. I'm gonna have to do more research on this because I can't find a date. Good monk. The location was built before the theatre was there in 1794 and it closed in 1921. Now I know that's a massive amount of time. It was a Catholic chapel. Okay, so there's a start. The other things is I can't find any information on the other bishop ghost. That is on a ghost walk. There is a thing about the bishop, but that's it. The other thing which is registered at the cathedral is a poltergeist, which moves items when a builder broke staircase. So we could combine a bishop with a builder. I don't think he would mind. I've met many bishops. I think they would find it funny. Maybe. So that's basically the information I have. So, let's get started, I guess. Editor Vin sketch, evil preacher had a monastery there in 1864. So that is a date, and that is pretty close to what I designed it. Clean sketch is done. Happy builder guy. Evil guy. I'm gonna get to coloring because I'm really happy and I don't think I need to say more. As everyone like his neck is an issue, but we might be able to hide that because I was hoping to have like make him look spooky and evil. So yeah. And we love this guy. Look how happy he looks. Base colors are in. I'm sounding really happy about this because it's going a lot better than the last one. So yeah. So we have them done, but I feel, especially this guy, he doesn't feel too ghostly, so I may make the bottom of the cassock, I think that's what it's called. The outfit anyway, slightly see-through to make it a bit more ghostly. Yeah, I am a bit more happy with that. So we continue. Bishop with tools done. Reacher done. Monk done. We are going to do the rat and the corpse, and then the last one will be very interesting, and I will let you know why. Last couple ones, we got 3 more ghosts to do to complete. We have rat and we have corpse. Now the rat, I'm not doing chibi. I refuse to do chibi because like that's the only one I could do cute, so I'm gonna do it like horrific, and then the corpse is gonna be sort of like floating corpse. Because again, there was the hanging grounds there. Line out done. Editor VinSketch here. You may be expecting at this point for me to add details, but there really isn't any more details to these stories. There were sightings, and that's about it. The rat is also complete rumor. There is no facts or dates to back up sightings. The floating corpse, on the other hand, has dated sightings up to the 2000s. One done. We have this one's done, and then we just need to do the boy. The cutie patootie, the boyo boys, the rat of stinkers. Rating done. That means we got these 2 guys done. We literally just have 1 left to complete all of them. It'll be fine. And the last ghost, the one I saved to the very end. The reason? Well, so the last one, I need to explain. Okay, it was spotted in the 1800s was the last sighting of it. And it was a headless horseman on a coach with headless horses flying over the sky. Now, it could have just been Santa, let's be honest, just at the wrong perspective. But this is my sketch, my idea. I can't draw horses, so they are just beans at the moment. It's also, they didn't say what type of carriage or how many horses. We gotta do all the ghosts. And this is one of them. Okay, horse is done, and I will admit I had to use a lot of reference. My Little Pony is a reference, for example, like My Little Pony style fan art. If you can tell by like the spine, like the position, or like the perspective I've used. But yeah, that turned out a lot better than I thought it was, and I was dreading drawing the horses more than the carriage, and now I'm dreading the carriage more than the horses. Maybe it's just easier to draw horses if you don't have to draw their heads. That's the type of carriage I was. And yeah, that's my attempt. This is a sketch. I'm just gonna now do a clean line art version of this, which may make it look way worse, but we'll see. Line art done, and I'm really happy about it. I'm sorry, I don't normally draw horses, or carts, or anything that requires consistency. So I am pleased. Somehow it seems wrong to be putting blush on headless ghost horses, but if that's the process, then I guess that's the process in a little bit. Fabulous. And we have base colors and base shading done. So now is literally just time to render over the top. And I think we're done. You know, I thought it was gonna look weirder than it does, but I'm actually quite pleased with how it's turned out, which is saying something, I guess.